my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 140 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is let's make some Apple-Streusely amazing cheesecake. That was hard to say. Apple-Streusely amazing, because it's supposed to sound like absolute. Anyway, before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think they would help. With that being said, here's our list of things to do today. I don't know, is it kind of tilted funny? All right, we're going to do our daily compliments for the last couple weeks. We're going to do a cookbook and first look. And we're making Apple-Streusel cheesecake in honor of the book that we read prior to the first look. Now I'm a little bit behind on the books, and I actually skipped one because I really didn't read any food items in the actual book, and I couldn't correlate anything with LA in the 2000s that wasn't going to be extremely complicated and something I didn't really want to make. So I wasn't just going to make something just because I wanted it to fit inside of this segment. So I went to the next book, and I will go over that one, give you a refresher on that one if I can remember myself. Maybe I'll just read that little synopsis again. And then in order to kind of make it correlate to this book, I know I read a lot about food in this book. But the things that I wanted to make and the things that were in there, and I swear I marked pages that had food on it, but it turns out they didn't. And now I wonder why I marked the page. I don't know. So needless to say, I'm loosely basing this on, because this book takes place in the 1940s. So it's loosely based on a dessert from Ohio, or that was popular in the 1940s. So that's where this Apple-Streusel from. They didn't mention brandied peaches, but what am I supposed to do with that? So here we are. Let me read these daily compliments first and get those all done. So we're starting with the 24th, and it's you're incredibly resourceful. The 25th, your enthusiasm is so infectious. The 26th, your empathy is touching. Your 27th, your perseverance is remarkable. The 28th, your wisdom is so profound. The 29th, you're an amazing friend. The 30th, you are so caring. The 31st, you have a great sense of style. The 1st of February, your honesty is refreshing. The 2nd, you are incredibly supportive. The 3rd, you have a talent for making people laugh. The 4th, you have a great sense of humor. 5th, I love how strong your empathy is. And today, the 6th, which would have been my father-in-law's 86th birthday, so happy heavenly birthday, you're an excellent team player. So there you go. Those went by bing, bang, boom, right? Real quick, like. Okay, so in the process of doing this recipe and, mixing things, I'm going to kind of talk about the book that this is based, or I'm loosely basing this recipe on. And we'll also be going over a first look of the new book Magnus and I are reading. Actually, I should cover 2 books because we finished 2 in a time frame, because I don't think I talked about Stone Mothers. I might have. My memory is getting fogged. I'm going to have to really start writing this down on a Excel spreadsheet, because I'm really... Anyway, I'm going to tell you the ingredients, but I'm also going to link you the recipe in the description from this episode, okay? So don't worry about it. I'm going to talk you through the process, and I'm going to give you the ingredients now, which is 1 cup of butter separated. So you want 1 stick warm and 1 stick cold. A 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. 1.5 cups flour, which we weighed because it'd be more like 180. 180 grams, which is a little bit more accurate, and a third a cup of oats, and then a quarter teaspoon of salt is also in with the flour. That is our crust, okay? And then the cheesecake is made up of 4 eggs, 1 cup of just regular sugar, and then 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. And I always use light cream cheese. Always, always, always. There's no, in my opinion, there's no flavor difference whatsoever. And I always, excuse me, I always use my gluten-free flour. So those are 2 steps I like to take to make it healthier without noticing any difference in texture or flavor. And then there's the streusel is 1 cup brown sugar, 1 large, about 1 cup brown sugar, 1 large apple peeled and chopped, and then 1 cup chopped pecans. And we're preheated to 375, but that is just for the crust, and then it gets turned down to 350. So in my bowl here, and I have 2 ways we can look at this, that way or that way. Look at that. Sorry this other camera's so yellow. We can't figure it out. It's just the lighting in my house, what we've figured so far. All right, this is the softened one. Okay, we're using the cold one to make the Streusely stuff later. Okay, and then to this, we're going to add the powdered sugar. Oh, that's it. Oh, okay, I'm mixing this well real quick. I get it. I thought it was 1 step altogether. This is what happens when you write it down, but you don't really pay attention to what you wrote. Boy. Oh, and I want to talk about the thing we made last time, which was the chocolate chip cookie cake. Delicious. And it's just a platform to make other things with it, right? Like you could split that cake in half, you know, widthwise, and have like 2 layers, or you could make 2 of them and layer one on top of the other and do like a frosting and make it a birthday cake. It was really good, and it was really good warm with some ice cream. So I highly recommend. I mean, it's essentially just a chocolate chip cookie, but it kept its fluff, which I was surprised because I was worried I was not going to get the rise that I was looking for. Because I like a little bit of chew, but I want it to be soft and doughy and almost a little underdone. That's a good chocolate chip cookie in my book. So that's what I look for when I'm doing that kind of stuff, you know. All right, and now I'm supposed to add, or I mixed it well. This is what it looks like. And then we're going to add, excuse me, we're going to stir in with my trusty favorite spatula the flour, oats, and salt. The salt is in here, okay? So I'm going to put in all the flour. And this is our crust. This is kind of a fun crust. Seems a little bit healthier than using graham crackers. But we'll see. All right. So we're going to mix this up really nice. So the first book that I'm going to talk about and what we're cooking for today is called Matters of Chance. And this is the book that I talked to you guys about, excuse me, that takes place in the 1940s. It starts out in Ohio but moves to New York. And it's just filled with history and vibrant characters. Excuse me. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Haien, so I'm going to say Hain. I'll put it here. But she just writes her characters so well. I'm just going to read you the synopsis real quick. So I'm trying to start where the actual. So she brings us into a world that is nearly lost to us, a world of tradition and personal responsibility, a world in which men and women are obliged to honor life, no matter how it is given to them. I'm about to cry. Morgan Shirtliff is one such man. there's a woman, Maud, her first name, Maud Lee, whom he passionately loves. They marry shortly before World War II and move to a house outside of Cleveland, Ohio. Unable to have children of their own, Morgan and Maud adopt twin girls, Caroline and Julia, an adoption arranged by the remarkable, somehow mysterious, head of the Tilden Hearn Adoption Agency, Miss Zenobia Bly. Isn't that a great name? I love it. Who Morgan and Maud feel has chosen them to be the parents for these two girls. In 1941, Morgan is called to war, except for one brief leave in 1943. He serves in the Navy until the autumn of 1945. When the war ends at last, he returns home to his family and picks up his personal and professional lives. His career as a lawyer crescendos, grows finer. He wins his first glory case and finds in the public realm a brief, brilliant notoriety. His marriage to Maud is marvelously happy, and then, after the war, after the separation from his beloved wife and children, after believing his life to have found again a steady course that will carry him into the future, suddenly, everything. I'm just going to stop there because it just leaves a nice little mystery. He really just paints a picture. I just can't even. I highly recommend. And if anybody would like my free copy shipped to them, please mention it in the comments down below this episode, and I will work out a plan with you. If you live near me, I can just drop it off, obviously. But I don't know if this is supposed to be crumbly or not. I'm not really sure. I guess it's a pie crust, so I think we want to keep some of the butter. Oh, it didn't tell me. I hope I was supposed to guess. I'm like, crap. Okay, so I'm going to guess this butter wants to stay in chunks because we want it to, kind of work towards buttery goodness once it's baked, right? Okay, so this is our streusel that we're going to do over there in a little bit. I don't even know if I really needed that mixer, to be honest. I could have even done this by hand. So, all right, so I'm going to jump this and spray this. It doesn't say. I'm nervous. You know how I feel about. All right, so I'm supposed to press it into the pan. You know what? It doesn't say anything about, like, if I should go up the sides. Up the sides? I don't know. Oh, I got an awful lot here. So I feel, and this is a 9-inch springform pan that we're using. I already like the look of it. It looks really nice. Oh, it's so buttery. It's sticking to my hands. Goodness. Don't do that. We want the butter to stay. Okay. Not sure what I should do. Maybe I'll just go up the sides a little bit. I'm trying to think of what her picture looked like. It was, I can't. Ah, the butter's sticking to my hands. No. Not the best part. All right. So think about this. This is a little bit healthier than just using like graham crackers and butter. I mean, I understand there's butter in here regardless, but the nice thing is that there's some, oats, which are healthy. And it's going to have apple in it, which is healthy. I'm not saying this is a healthy dessert by any means. Don't get me wrong. But it's healthier. I don't know. I don't think we want it too thick on the bottom that it's, hard to bite through. Right? Thoughts? Opinions? Ideas? All right. And then we're going to pre-bake this for 10 minutes. And that's the only reason we have our oven set to 375. I think I might have mentioned that. I'm also thinking about adding a little bit of cinnamon, or cinnamon sugar to the apples because, hello, apples and cinnamon. That's that's a dream combination in my book. I mean, cinnamon and anything. It's also good for you. It's supposed to regulate your blood sugar, I think, something of that nature, if I remember correctly. And again, I'm not trying to overwork this because, like I said, most of it is sticking to my hands now, and I don't want to lose the butter out of the crust. But I also don't want a big, huge bite of just crust on the bottom, And it feels pretty dense. I think it's kind of answering my question for me, though, because it's not really sticking up the sides. So I'm not going to play with it anymore. I don't want it any more overworked. Okay. Just going to press that down. Okay. So I'm going to show it to you real quick. See? I just kind of went up the sides just the smallest bit. And it's even kind of crumbling down. I don't think it's meant to do that. So this goes in for 10 minutes. I like that it's getting pre-baked a little bit too because now I feel like it'll stiffen up and the cheesecake mixture won't have a place to, fall out, I guess. I always feel like I have leaks when I make cheesecake. It's either because I haven't put the springform pan together right or, something of that nature. Okay. The next step is we're going to, while that's cooking, in a small bowl, we're going to beat the eggs until light. So that's going to probably take me a few minutes. So I might do that off camera while we're waiting for this 10 minutes to go up. And then I'll come back and we'll finish up the the filling. Sound like a plan? Because I think it's going to take me the 10 minutes just to whip the eggs. So I'll be back. All right, the next step is to add the vanilla and the sugar. So I'm going to do that now. It says gradually. I don't know. I feel like I could use more vanilla in my life. That didn't seem like enough. Although it did feel like it got cooked to the sides a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to gradually add in just the regular granulated sugar. I used my bowls in the wrong order because they wanted me to use the large bowl for mixing my cream cheese. And I'm actually using my large bowl to mix the eggs and I think it all goes together. I could be wrong, but it seems like it's all should be all one big, you know. They just want me to fluff everything up, I guess. All right. It's starting to look like applesauce. Again, I'm going to put the link in the description if I remember. I eventually put it in there, guys. I really do. I'm just so itching to get that description over with. That's like one of the things that drives me crazy. It's just so hard to figure out what I'm going to write. All right. All right, guys, I'm back. So I forgot to poke holes in my crust. So what I did was, while it was still pretty warm from coming out of the oven, I just used a cup and I went around and I pressed it all down. So it's pretty even. It looks nice. It just looks the same color as it did when it went in, and I will lift it up just okay, better. Okay. I know it looks yellow on my but the oats are nicely represented there. I like that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I fluffed up my whipped cream, and we're going to gradually add in our egg mixture, egg sugar mixture. So hopefully I can do that kind of on low while I talk to you. So yes, I highly recommend Matters of Chance. It's really good book, really well written. I like the premise. The characters were relatable. The visuals in my head were great. So I feel like that's half the battle. If I read a book and I appreciate what I what I can see in my mind's eye, then I'm in a good place. I like the way this is, you know, working out as far as doing these two things separately. You know, doing an egg mixture with the sugar, because then I feel like it has a chance to dissolve in there and not like make the cream cheese all crumbly. The other thing I would say is I would even replace one of the cream cheeses with like a blended cottage cheese, like we did that one recipe. Really good. Okay. Oh, wanted to scrape down the sides real quick. And now the book that we're reading now, this very minute practically, is called Alibi, and it's by Sandra Brown, I think. And I would say like parts of it feel awkward because it's very has a lot of like steamy scenes, if you will. So it's kind of hard to read that part to my dogs. I read that part to myself. But it's good so far. It's about murder, and in I think it's South Carolina. It almost is a Charlotte. Yeah, it is a big part of it too. So I'm hoping there's some food mentioned in this book, because I know Charlotte has some really good restaurants, really great cuisine. Love to go there someday. All right. All right, we got a little bit of this left, but I would say it's still kind of a mystery. We've read about a quarter of it, I would say, and it's good. I'm not I mean, she does give good descriptions of the characters, don't get me wrong, but I'm not as invested in the... I don't know. I don't know yet. I feel like there's more to come, you know? Like, I almost feel like she gave too much away in the beginning, if that makes any sense. It should, but... Like, although I hope, I pray that she's misleading us in a sense. I don't want to be knowing what's going to happen. Because if I know one part of it, I predict the rest. I'm sure a lot of people do. And some of them are just too blatantly obvious. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping there's a twist in the plot here shortly. Because otherwise I already know, like, who did it. I don't know why, though. It's almost like a Columbo, you know? She's giving you the murder in advance. And you get to see the murder and everything happen. And you get to watch Columbo, you know, deduce why. Although I think sometimes he just pulls stuff out of his butt. But he's one of my favorites. I love a good Columbo. Excuse me. What's going on? All right, this should be the last of it, I think. I need to get... Oh, a lot of it's stuck to the bottom. This slurry of eggs looks kind of good. Okay, come on. Be done with this part. I get to the good part where it's baking. All right, last round, guys. So, you know, there's a... I'm going to read you the synopsis in a minute, but there's, you know, we got a detective, we got an ADA, we got another lawyer who's assisting the ADA. We got... So far, these are the characters that have been introduced. And we've kind of, I feel like, been introduced to the person who is going to do, or did the... Because it opens up and the murder has already... I'm fucking over here, don't ask me why. And essentially the murder has already happened. So... All right, we're done with that part. So, what do we do next? I'm very excited. Okay, I'm assuming we're making all this stuff in advance while we're waiting for the crust to cool, because we don't want to put... Okay. And then lastly, it says don't overbeat that, I hope. Oh, sugar beets. I just realized the flour was supposed to be separated. So, only 1 cup of the flour. Yeah. Oh, crap. Oh, my God. Well, I don't know what to do with that now. All right, I'm going to put a little cinnamon sugar on it for one thing, because I'm sure it's going to be... Oh, my gosh. Wow. That was on me. I had Peyton measure them for me, but I forgot to tell her they needed to separate. I am horrible. So I need another half cup. Oi. Half cup of flour. I don't really want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I don't normally measure it by the measuring cup anymore. Oh my goodness. You heard me say, this seems like a lot. Yeah. I'm going to try and cut it down to 1/4 of a cup, because I just don't think we need... Oh my goodness gracious. I'm tired. Bear with me, guys. All right, well, we're gonna hope it works out okay. I covered it with cinnamon and sugar, and I had a discussion with my daughter, and she said, just start over. I'm like, I'll start all over. Plus, there's a stick of butter in there. Butter isn't cheap. So, I'm gonna pray for the best. I might sprinkle it with a little something. I wish I had apple juice, but I think I drank the rest of it. Just hope it's more like a shortbread than. So I'm cutting in the butter cubes that I kept in the fridge with my pastry cutter here. And we want it to be crumbly. I'm sure I've made a bazillion streusels on here, but you know, why not? Anyway, go back to the book for a little bit. And this is the book, Sandra Brown, The Alibi. And let me read the little, is there no blurb? Huh? Great. They're going to make me come up with something on my own? Oh, here we go. The sensational murder of one of Charleston's most powerful citizens, real estate tycoon Lute Pettyjohn, rocks the city and gives ambitious prosecutor Hammond Cross his chance to become the city's next district attorney, if he wins the case. His investigation turns up no shortage of people who want Pettyjohn dead. But when the prime suspect turns out to be a mysterious woman who holds the secret that can shatter Hammond's ambitions, he faces a moral dilemma and haunting questions. Was he set up to be the perfect alibi? Dun, dun, dun. Like I said, so far, written really well, I think. Other than, like, I think the plot is unfolding too quickly. But again, I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping there's some sort of twist coming. Now, the other thing I made a mistake about is I kept my brown sugar over there with the oven on. And so it got a little crispy. Yeah, that's how these things go. This is the best blessed life, baby. Okay. So the other reason why I thought it was apropos to use this apple streusel specifically was because in the book that we're basing this dessert on, which is The Matters of Chance. Sorry, I jumped back for a second. The father-in-law of Morgan Shirtliff had an apple orchard. So that is why I felt the need to do something apple-y. I almost threw it all over the place. All right, we're down to our last one. This is a good arm workout. If you're looking for some exercises, and let's face it, we've been stuck inside. We had an ice storm last night, so. Okay. Please. I'll just eat it without the crust, if it comes down to it. Oh my gosh, I'm losing momentum here. Okay. So while I'm sitting here, the crust is definitely cooled down enough. Because the cinnamon sugar isn't even like, melting a little bit. Okay, I think. And I didn't use the half a cup of flour. I used a little bit more than a quarter. I don't know. It'll probably come back to backfire on me, but I just need to overcompensate for the extra flour in the crust somehow. I know it doesn't correlate, but one can hope, can't they? I did add extra sugar. Maybe I'll just. All right. I think that's good enough. So that's all ready. So now the next step is I arrange the apples over the crust. So a little bit of the apple. Maybe I'll do a little bit. I don't want to make it too gummy, though. I fear like that would happen. Let me just do the apple. So here they are. One large apple, chopped. 9 or more cubes. Wanted it to be present. This is very cracker-like on the bottom, I can tell. But maybe I've created something good. So I peeled and chopped this. So, done. Voila! Next comes we top with the nuts. This is a lot of nuts. 1 cup chopped. Smells good already, though. I'll give him that. I don't know, guys. This many pecans. I'll save some for the top. Yeah, I think I'm going to save this part for the top. Okay. Then, after that, it says sprinkle this with half the streusel. Okay. Still feel like I could still break it apart with hands. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is going to almost create like a caramel apple. Right? I'm already like excited. So I'm hoping between this brown sugar, mixture being all over the apples that it'll save the crusts. You know what I'm saying. All right. I just thought giving it a good layer where everything was kind of covered was kind of what they were going for. Edges here. Oh my gosh. I got excited again. I'm back. I'm back, baby. I don't know how I missed this big. Okay. All right. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I need some for the top. Actually, with this mixed together, I think. Okay, then spoon filling. Spoon it? Really? I gotta spoon it? Seems kind of silly. Right. Let me pop these off real quick. Why do I have to spoon it? I got a bowl that pours. Isn't that the same? Yeah, I'm gonna. God, guys. Oh my goodness. This looks so delicious. I love the way this cheesecake looks. I got to get my spatula. You know I can't just leave this little bit here. Oh, I have so much brown sugar for my fingernail. Okay. Oh yeah, there's see that whole bite of that was whole bites of cheesecake. Whole bites. Look at that. Left that off. Okay. That was a big chunk of that was a big chunk of cheese of burley. To break up like a big. There we go. I knew that whisk would come in here. And then top with the remaining streusel. And I'm going to top with the remaining pecans too. Isn't that exciting? We're in the home stretch, guys. So I don't want to give too much of this book away, especially since it's a murder mystery. kind of deal. And yeah. But this author specifically, I think, does a lot of books like this. You know, I don't want to say she seems like one of those more, I want to say, like she has a series. That's what I was trying to say. So I don't know if this detective is in all of her books. That's what I'm thinking. But this is the first one I've ever read of her, so I can't really tell you for sure. I'm trying to break up some of these butter clumps. One mouthful, you know. Oop. Keep trying to get the sides because it always inevitably goes on the counter as opposed to, you know. Right. You guys, so excited. I can hardly take it. There's a lot of streusel. I'm so glad that I didn't do as much on the top because I'm really thinking I'm gonna enjoy like the pecans mixed with the streusel on the top, and not just middle. I like crunch. I like texture. I like variety, and I like it kind of in every bite. You know. Look, if I'm eating ice cream and it's just vanilla, I like to add like a cookie or in some fruit. You know, I like to zhuzh it up. Ray likes this. I'm a zhuzher. All right. Okay. Oop. Got 2 nuggets on the counter. Okay. Let me get this. Oh, I hate that feeling. Brown sugar in your. Okay. Brown sugar in your. Should be a song. Okay. And then finally, last but not least, I'm going to try and make the chopped up pecans even smaller. You know what would have been nice? We could have done like a candied pecan. I guess that's probably what's going to end up happening a little bit, especially in the middle there. Wanted to give it a little bit more texture all around. There was an awful lot of nuts in the middle there too, though, you know. And I imagine the cheesecake is going to fall down into all the cracks and crevices. Don't get me wrong, but anyway, I think I've given you quite a few ways to make this a little bit healthier. You could substitute, I know I said cottage cheese because that's been my favorite substitute so far. It doesn't lend any additional aftertaste to the cheesecake, which I feel Greek yogurt has done in the past. Sour cream probably wouldn't make it much healthier. And you get some protein. I really wish I would have thought about it before I started because I would have substituted. But do keep in mind that I did use light cream in place of regular, obviously. All right, my peoples. I think that's all she wrote. She's a beaut, guys. I think she's gorgeous. I have to say so myself. Let me hold it up for you. See, I'm afraid to pick it up. I don't know if I can. So heavy. All right. Can you see her? Can you see her? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, up on the regular camera, sort of. I'm not tilting it, guys, so bear with me. Okay. All right. Whoa. I really want to put some sugar on the top, but I'm going to wait until it's done, and I'll just sprinkle it. Melt a little bit. Hold on. You didn't see that. Okay. In she goes for 50 to 55 minutes. Okay. And you know my oven's going to probably take longer. But we'll see. We'll start with 50 and we'll go from there. Okay. Anything else I need to go over about these books? Gosh. Swear to you, I have been getting so many spam calls. It's ridiculous. Like so many. I can't even explain it to you. So, there was another book in between here, and I'm tempted to just run and grab it real quick if you'll bear with me. Maybe even my daughter will edit that part out for me. Actually, I read 2. I'm gonna save. I really wish I would have done the ones that I had read before this one. But I have quite a few that I haven't gone over with you. So I'm just going to say, I hope I remember I covered this with you. Because I just realized there's 2 over there and there's 1 over there. And I'm pretty sure I didn't go over Stone Mothers with you, but I will double check and see before I torture you with it again. But I don't know. I like it. Like I said, I just hope I don't know the ending already. I'm not one of those people that likes to read the ending. So far I can highly recommend Matters of Chance. Great book. And again, if you would like my copy, write it in the comment section on this episode, okay? And then I will give me some information to get in contact with you, and we'll work out whatever we work out as far as that goes. All right, it's time to take a quick cleanup break, guys, and let this bad boy cook. Fingers crossed the flour thing was not a big issue. I think I salvaged it with a little cinnamon sugar. I think that fixes anything, like duct tape, you know? Any baked good, cinnamon sugar. Or butter. All right. In a bag. Well, as you could probably figure out, mine didn't quite set on the top because I didn't quite use, sorry, I'm just dirt hit here. I didn't quite use the half cup of flour. So I have kind of a brown sugar lava center going on here. I'm hoping will kind of caramelize and solidify a little bit as it cools, because leaving it in there was not making a difference. I know it's cooked. I don't want to overdo the outside because it's a really beautiful texture. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to lift it up to, all right, well, get you closer there. Okay, I can't tip it though, guys. And up here, this is the best I can for now until it completely cools. So we won't be able to try it for you on camera, but please make sure you're following me on Instagram at The Best Blessed Life, on Facebook at Kristen Haas, KristinHass, on Twitter at The Best Blessed Life, with life spelled using a number 1. And I'm also on TikTok, and that's the only. And I think it's also at The Best Blessed Life, but I'm unsure if there's any fanciness. I'm kind of glad I put the pecans on the top, because it's done. Like, it's done. I can see that it's done. I can't wait to try it. I'm so excited. I think that's about it. I went over both books. I realize now that I jumped the gun on like 2 whole books. So, oh my gosh, I have a lot of catching up to do. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up, guys. I can't think of anything left to say except I hope you have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. And can you see my eyes darting around going, am I remembering everything? Am I remembering everything? Probably not, but it is what it is. All right. Thanks, guys.